everyone, this is Brit's Best, and today I'm going to be making a fruit tart. The first thing I'm going to make for my fruit tart is my pie shell. In here I have about 3/4 of a cup of sifted flour. Pie crust is hard because it's generally not something I measure my ingredients. So when I say it's about 3/4 of a cup, I mean that. This is about 1/4 of a cup of butter flavored Crisco. I'm also going to add 1.5 tablespoons of sugar. Sweeten it up since this is going to be a sweet tart. And also a pinch of salt. So next thing to do is just use your hands, mix in your fat into your flour. Just try and use your fingertips so you don't get your ingredients too warm. You want to get it so every piece of flour has a piece of fat with it. The way I judge that is my flour won't look white anymore because of the butter flavored Crisco being yellow. My mixture will have a nice light yellow color. I'm going to add a little bit more. It's generally about a 2-to-1 ratio flour to fat. That's how I judge it. Alright, so you can see my flour mixture is a nice light yellow color. It's about ready. Next thing I'm going to do is add my ice water. It's really important that your water is ice cold. So I'm just going to add a little bit at a time and just kind of mix it in together until you kind of form a little ball, a little chunk that when you squeeze it, it will stay together like that. Just set that off to the side and just keep doing that, adding your water a little bit at a time as you go. Alright, so I'm going to put down some flour on my working area. Get it nice and floured up. Don't want our dough to stick to our counter. I'm also going to flour my rolling pin. Okay. I want to roll it out. It's about 1/8 inch thick. This is my tart shell that I'm going to use. It has a removable bottom, which is nice when you get ready to take it out. So, to get my dough into my tart shell, just lift up the edges really delicately, roll it onto my rolling pin, and then just keep rolling my rolling pin until it comes all the way off like that. And just gently set it into the shell. Just gonna move this. So the key for pie dough, you don't want to mash it into your corners. Just gently lift it and set it in. For the excess, just press it down so you kind of get the indent of the shell on it, and then just take your rolling pin and roll it, and that will break off any excess pieces so it looks beautiful when it comes out. I have my pie crust and my tart shell. The next thing I'm going to do is get some Crisco on my paper towel. I'm going to rub it on the tin foil so that I can put a weight in my pie shell. This is just to make sure that the tin foil doesn't stick to the pie dough. Put the buttered side of the foil onto the dough. Press it into the sides. It doesn't have to be perfect or anything, just so that it's pretty well covered. I'm going to add some rice as a weight. This is just going to help my dough from not puffing up in the oven. My tart shell is going to bake at 375 for about 10 minutes. I'm going to take it out and dock it and then put it in again. It's been 10 minutes. I'm going to get out my tart shell. And I just gently pick up the tin foil and take it to the garbage. Now I'm going to dock my tart, so I just need a Plano fork and just poke holes in it. Okay, now we're done. I'm going to put it back in the oven for another 10 to 15 minutes. The filling for my tart is going to be a lime curd. So I'm going to take the zest of 3 limes. I have a zester right here. If you don't have a zester, you can get the top layer off with like a vegetable peeler and then just mince it really finely. So you just want to take the very top layer, avoiding the pith, which is the white part underneath. You don't want that, it's really bitter. With my 3 limes, I'm going to get a half cup of lime juice. It probably won't take them all because they're so big. Just like to run it through a strainer, just so in case there are any seeds in it or anything like that, it doesn't get in my juice. The next step for my lime curd is I'm going to mix my lime zest that I grated with 1.5 cups of sugar. Just in my food processor, so it gets well incorporated. And then just dump your lime zester right in. Let this mix for 2 or 3 minutes so your sugar becomes super fine and your lime is well incorporated. In my bowl, I have a stick of butter, 1/4 pound. Just going to add the sugar. I'm going to cream my butter and sugar and lime zest together. Start it off on the lowest setting, and then as it incorporates, you can put it up to maybe a 3 or a 2 or a 4. Alright, so once that's well creamed, I'm going to add 4 extra large eggs at room temperature. I'm going to add them one at a time just to make sure I don't have a bad egg. Once your eggs are well incorporated, add the half cup of lime juice that we juiced from our fresh limes. And 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. Once your mixture comes together, just take it out of your bowl. Take out my paddle. Scrape it down. And add it to a pan. Turn your pan on medium-low heat, and it needs to come to just below the boiling point, and your lime curd will be ready. So you can see it's thickened up. I'm just gonna pour it into my cool tart shell, just gently. Try and disperse it as evenly as I can. Okay, and just spread it out evenly in the tart. It's gonna set at room temperature for about a half an hour, and then we're gonna add the fruit, and then it will go in the fridge. So the last thing for my fruit tart is to get the fruit ready. So I'm gonna do kiwi and strawberry fruit tart. For your kiwi, just cut off the ends. These are really big kiwis. And then I just stand them up on their little end and just go down. Alright, and then just slice them nice and thin. Oh, that's a little too thin. I'll try again. For my strawberries, I just hull them, just cut off the tops. And then, like, this one's really big, so what I like to do is cut it into thirds. So, like that, and then do a really skinny one in the middle. And then just use the two sides for the tart. So I'm just gonna keep doing that. So my curd has set at room temperature. I'm gonna lay these on. If they fit, great. If not, I'll go get some more. So how I like to do them is kind of lay them down, kind of an angular pattern. Looks like I had too many. More for me to eat later. Okay, now I'm going to lay my kiwis down the same way, just overlapping. For your last one, pick an especially pretty strawberry. I like to leave the top on, and then I just don't go all the way to the top, but just do like slices down. So it's still connected, and then it'll kind of fan out like that. And then little, just like that. And a beautiful fruit tart. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you make this at home, and I hope you enjoyed watching.